Hey, we're going to try to do another recording from my Logitech camera from my big computer and see how it's going to turn out. I like the quality even better than my phone. I didn't have the lighting in here in the office, trying to hold that phone still. And now here I'm going to have the same thing with this camera off of this computer, trying to get this thing recorded and showing the people what I've been working on for the past 13 years, if not 14. Somewhere at the end of 2004, beginning into 2005, I began doing this project, and uh, I ended up doing it over and over and over and over because I couldn't accept it. It's like, this is just overdone. We got to keep it simple, stupid. And then how do you do it? In getting the recording of highlighting and coloring the Bible in the voices, giving a voice unto the Most High. Uh, in bright letter red, I gave the voice of God, the Son of Man, who clearly spoke in the Old Testament many, many, many times, even there in the tabernacle, and gave them all these things that they needed to go and do, and the Lord would accept them. You see, it says, "And the Lord speaking" here, yet He's not referring about those sacrifices, bringing it unto Him. If it had been the direct word of the Father, He would have said, "This is what I want you to go and do, and bring them up unto me, and I shall accept them." Over and over, it's in the word of the Lord. It says, "And the Lord shall accept them." And it shall be accepted, and they shall be forgiven. You see, we have to learn how to see and hear the voices of the heavenly. This project has more than I could ever explain in the coloring that I have done, and in its itemization of everything representing itself. Uh, it's been colored in so many different things, given the angels of the Lord their own voice and coloring. When it says, "Why dost thou ask my name, saying it is a secret?" You see, he can speak for himself, but then when he spoke, "Hear ye the word of the Lord," he's now speaking, and even though it's the angel there appearing unto them and speaking unto them, and he's now, "Hear ye the word of the Lord, I say unto you." You see, he's representing and speaking unto the people, just the same as a prophet would be doing when he gave the spoken word and gave unto and spoken into the prophecies. Uh, uh, so the coloring in this project of this Bible, it makes it so easy, absolutely so easy. By a rolling of the page, you can find it. The coloring finds it for us. I didn't write the words, I didn't change the words, I didn't add to it, and I didn't take away. It has end time brackets and end time sayings, when we clearly had an end time saying here that they need to pay attention to. It had bracket to bracket. This is clearly an end time saying, or end time revealing here. There's so many things within this, and there's no way I could possibly explain. Losing this project again and again and again, uh, uh, over the updates of the computers, and the software wouldn't accept the old software, and thinking I had things backed up, and well, I didn't. Switching computers and finding a better it was just a mess. you know uh, the last computer I had for all those years that I was using for the project, in the old programs. The power button was the way it was made in that desktop. I ripped this thing completely apart and cut it up because I couldn't get to the button, the power button. It wouldn't turn back on. I only had one book and a half out of the whole thing left to color in its highlight and presentation. One book and a half. Again, I'm going through it over and over and over. I'm working my way down to the last one book and a half left, and say, "Okay, I think I got it. Let's do the reviewing. Let's say a prayer. Lord, will you accept this?" Da 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 da. I couldn't even get to the button. Oh, I stripped this thing completely apart, trying to save the hard drive. Like, how do I do? What do I do? I spent day and day and day going, how do I save this project? I swore years ago that I didn't want any more desktops. I've had enough of the desktops. I've had enough of these cords and cords and cords and cords, you know, just covering up behind your desk and you tripping over all this. Where do you hide this stuff? Hey, get you a laptop. It's so easy. You close the thing, you got your desk back. So I end up eating my own words, you know, because now you can buy a desktop, you know, a powerful, powerful gaming desktop, and be half the less than half the price of what they want for these brand new laptops that has all the top of the line hardware and programming and software and what they want for the laptop. So it made me eat my words again, knowing that, hey, all right, save the parts of the computer. Let's get this thing and maybe this hard drive into another computer like I've done before, switching hard drives into another one and setting it up in Windows. Well, everything I tried, it crashed. It wouldn't accept it, wouldn't accept it. It almost finalized. Oh, you stupid computers. Well, it wouldn't go through. And then it locked up my hard drive. Squeal, squall, squeal, squall. Oh no, what did I just do? Trying to search answers, trying to search answers, looking at YouTube. Can I find a way of saving this hard drive and saving that software? Well, I went through video after video after video of how they showed that you could switch out the hardware that's actually inside the hard drives and change and take the head of the reader of the arm that swings over the plate and digitally reads the platter. You know, that you can take it out of another hard drive and switch it over. And, you know, well, okay. So when I got mine apart, bam, the arm was slapping the sides of the platter. Well, I'm watching film after film. Okay, now how can I do that? Oh, it's so delicate. I didn't have what I needed to do and getting in a hurry, frustrated. I'm not about to send this thing off to these techs of what they want to charge. My word. And so I watched film after film on how to take these, what they call the headers, the swing arm that goes across, out of another hard drive. And so I bought more hard drives, a waste of money. Why? Because I didn't get to do it like they did. And I opened these things and and I thought, and I sat there now, because I'm watching programs of how to change the arm that goes across the platter that does the reading, or switch out the platter and put it into the platter itself into another hard drive and fire it back up. Well, watching these films, and I'm sitting there one night after work going, now which way do I do this? Do I try and switch the arms and the reader out, or do I just switch the platter? Which way? Do I do this way, or do I do that way? This way or that way? I sat there for 2 hours. If not, Mike, you got to make a decision. Well, it was the wrong one. Because switching these things out, the head reader, oh man, that is so delicate. And getting those needles apart to where they're not, and they're so fine. Of the least bend, you break it. I mean, you break the tips. You're done. And when I put it back together, I didn't see the bottom arm of the reader. Well, it broke. The first time it went across the platter. Uh-oh. And then when I'm turning it on, going, can I read this thing? Can I read this thing? And I hear, oh no. It sounded like I had that platter up against a grinder. And when I took it back apart, that's what that platter looked like. Like I stuck it up against a grinder. Yeah, it was done. Watching those films thinking, oh man, even changing this platter is so delicate from one platter over into another hard drive. That's compatible in the same thing. That's the one I should have chose. because you can actually get that platter out. Get that arm back out of the way, pin it back, be careful, and switch and pull out the platter, and switch it in and put it back. But it was too late. I made the wrong decision. Again. Again and again, everything just keeps fighting me. These preachers on TV, you're spoiled. Oh, I couldn't begin to tell you how much this thing has fought me. And now I'm fighting, I'm up against this lung cancer, the tumor they said they found in some multiple places in my right lung that they fixed 2 years ago. And now they're trying to decide, am I going to be able to handle losing half of my lung, my right lung? Well, it's the easiest kill, provided I live through it. Or I can do 7 weeks, 5 days a week chemo. I'm only 101. I used to always be 130, 35 all my life. I'm so weak that bringing in the grocery to the car, my legs and hands are shaking right out from underneath me. Anything that's 10 pounds, it feels like it's 100. I don't think I could live through it. I don't think I could handle it. 7 weeks, 5 days a week, going all the way to Fayetteville. Well, they're only going to give me 60% of my pay, and that's whenever it starts. What's that going to pay? Okay, but here's what I wanted to do. This is going to be even a mess too, because my programming is over here that has this Bible project in it under the old programming. This computer over here in Windows 10, it can't handle it because it's different files and software. No. It says, oh, no. It ain't gonna let it go in. So I bought an identical computer, which was a ding-dang. I did it, when I got it in, over half of the computer, and it said used, I knew that. It's over half of the things in the computer wasn't even working. Yeah, but at least I saved the parts and stripped the parts out of the old one. Well, I got parts to fix this one, so I got it all up, but then I lost the Windows activation code. When I put it back in, it says sorry, you've already put this Windows in 3 different times. So you've been cut off. Get you an upgrade. Go get you a new computer. Go get your Windows 10. It would not let me reactivate my own CD software that I had because I already used it 3 times trying to help my buddy's computer, get them up and running. Well, they wanted a copy, so Microsoft, you're killing us. You're all in it for, we know you're all in it for the money. And it's who's got the money, who's got the money. Anyway, yeah, it's not us, right? Somehow it's never us. We're still waiting on those blessings to come. Praying for them, hoping for them, believing for them. But if we don't get some of it, we're going to be right out there in the streets like the rest of them. So I want to get this thing even done again, even though with this camera and this computer. And I'm going to see if I can pick up this camera. So I apologize. You're going to see, and I'm going to try to get it over here to this one over here and get it into focus. That's the hard part. I got to get my camera over here to this computer that's behind me and try to keep it in focus and look behind me again to this computer. Can we even have this thing in focus to where you can even see what I'm doing? I know all about that desktop sharing stuff and recording desktop. This computer don't have that program, and this computer can't handle this programs. So I'm going to try to do it anyway, so please forgive me if it gets out of focus. I'll try to get it in focus. I want you to see some of the things that I've been doing and working on for well over the past 13 years of this Bible project for the Lord. No one in the whole world has ever done what I have been doing and am trying to still accomplish if I can even live through this to even finish it again. And then we'll see what happens. So let me try to take this camera off. Here we go again. You're going to see some movement. Get this cords unwrapped around the things here. And excuse me, sorry about this. I'm looking. So now I got to turn this thing and see if I can hold this camera over here and try to look back at the other one to even see where am I supposed to hold this thing to keep it in focus. I have to use my trifocals, people. If it's this close to that close and that way and that far away, I have to use my trifocals. And so now I'm trying to use my trifocals because now it's right here in front of my face. I don't know if you can even see the coloring in this. To hold this steady with one hand with no stands and to zoom in with the stands like these professionals have, I've got to get this thing recorded. You can see some coloring there. Now let me scroll up to see here. If they were evil people and of the Canaanites, the Perizzites, the Hittites, I gave them a boldness. If it's talking anything about sin, I gave it a blot. The coloring all stands out for itself, for it's all individual words of key words that people need to pay attention to within their own Bibles. Now, trying to look behind me and look over here at the screen to even see where I'm at in the pages. This is the book of Judges. And now there's Judges chapter 2. If you can see this, ladies and gentlemen. Let me try. That's why everybody uses this desktop program, but my document program will not go into the Windows 10. It will not accept it. Okay. This is Judges chapter 2. If you can see into the color and I can get it into focus. But at least you can get the idea of the gist of what we're trying to do here. The book of Judges has its own coloring. In verse 1 it says, and the angel of the Lord came up from Gilgal to Bochim and said. So now we have an angel that's appeared unto them and speaking in the word of the Lord. I made you to go up out of Egypt, and I have brought you unto the land which I swear unto your fathers. And I said I would never break my covenant with you. There's a blot you can see. Come on, I got to look at my bifocals. I'm getting frustrated. You can see the dots to the left making the indents blot, 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 blot. When we go through a program at work, they hand us all these pamphlets, and it's got all these bullets of everything that's supposed to be a rundown of what we're going to find within all of these teaching programs. These are things that people need to pay attention to as well as the rest of the scriptures. In verse 2, and ye shall make no league with the inhabitants of this land. Ye shall throw down their altars, but ye have not obeyed my voice. Why have ye not done this? We've got an angel speaking in the word of the Lord. Wherefore I also said, I will not drive them out from before you, but they shall be thorns in your sides, and their gods shall be a snare unto you. And it came to pass when the angel of the Lord spake these words, that all the children of Israel, that the people lifted up their voice and wept. Even through this book of Judges, it will declare how many places and tribes that did not utterly drive them out, but the inhabitants lived among them within their inheritance. And they all tried to get along, and then battle after battle, and take and overtake. So there's so many things that I could show you of the coloring of what I've tried to do within this very Bible that no other man has ever done in history. When other people heard about this project, they all immediately wanted a copy right then. You know, hey, they want to put it out on the market. Well, that's all going to be up to the Lord. You're going to let me finish it again? I want to dedicate it. I want to dedicate it right in front of the Lord. Lord, you're going to be behind it. Will you stand with it? Do you want to see it out there? If there was no prophecy given from Grandma that millions and millions would be sold and handed out around the world, and the world would rejoice over this kind of highlight and coloring. There was none of that stated, other than what Grandma Lehman gave. She says, the Lord's telling me that you're going to be the one to do it. And I like to fell over. I was just a kid, 8 years old. So now, I'm throughout all these years of my preaching and teaching and being an idiot and having to work my whole life and be a packing Marine that I'm not. Try to fight all my pain and go through this because the state ain't going to help you for nothing. You got to go in there with your hands and your legs cut off, somebody rolling you in a wheelchair before the state's ever going to help you do anything. Well, here I just had a job for 1 year. It was 1 year to the day that I got 1 year in on my anniversary there where I worked shuttling trailers and slamming 30 and 40 trailers and 50 a night by myself. Ooh, I gotta be a packing Marine that I ain't. I got bills to pay. I got house to go. I got a whole year and maybe 2 or 3 months after that to finally have this blasted double wide, but paid for that's here in the mobile home park. To get a 20-year note paid off, I desperately, I need help. But Lord, it has to come from you. You'd rather me be in the streets? Fine. I give up. So I wanted to get this thing done. I don't know how it's going to turn out. Sorry about the focus, and I don't have what's been given to the renowned and all these other preachers. I'm sorry. It was just a try. Let's see what's going to happen. And I love all of you. Hey, if I even live through this surgery, I think I'm better off go ahead and take the surgery. I don't think I can make it through the chemo. I'm sorry. You preachers go away. I know all about have faith and hang on, trust. Be positive with your words. Go play somewhere else. Dad and I taught this stuff before you ever started. And you old preachers, you ain't taught me nothing. I've done preached this stuff a long time ago, but now it's our turn. Yeah, I'm standing in faith. Lord, I desperately need your financial help. Now I need your spiritual and physical. Hey, I feel like the story of Job, and I'm not Job. I told the Lord in that vision, I'm not Job. Didn't you kind of apologize for all that? Letting that devil go that far with him? What is this to prove? What is this to gain? To see how far I can be destroyed? I know good and well you can give it all back. But must I be totally destroyed too? I give up. Well, we either get some help out of the Most High and His Son and His angels getting me some help. Well, hey, take my life and get it over with. Put me right back where this all started. Hey, I've done my preaching and I got, don't go away. Anyway, I wanted this recorded. I'm not finished again. And now am I going to get a chance? That's all up unto the Lord. We'll see what's going to happen. So I love you. In the name of the Father and of the Son and of the Holy Ghost. Bye-bye.